Unbelievable. I mean, the bedlam on this place, and you could sense it building all day with the way the students were lined up, and just phenomenal. I thought game management, game energy. I mean, the band, everybody was high level. And fortunately, our team was the same way. Our team responded. As we kept saying today, it's not hit or be hit, it's hit or be out. And this is a game where you've got to be in the mix because they set the tone and the standard for toughness in our league and in the country. I mean, they really do. I mean, they're just such a physically dominating team. They execute. They play both ends. They've got one of the best defenses in the country, certainly in the league. They've got star power. They've got high-quality players, and our guys matched it. And very, very proud of them because it's a game where not only you want to be measured by how you play against Michigan State, but to get a win like that means an awful lot. And the legacy part of it is JD didn't even tell me the whole part of this, but it's the first time it's the first time in the history of Indiana that an Indiana team has won 3 top 5 games in the regular season. So that's something they can all take with them, and that's remarkable considering where we have been. But before I talk more about the game, the thing I'm most proud of with this team as we continue to get better is every one of them have earned it. That there's been nothing handed to them. There's been nothing given to them in the sense of anything bestowed upon them. They haven't been entitled to anything. They've just continued to improve in the program. And they're living proof of what happens when you persevere and you deal with adversity and you lock yourself in the gym and you just make yourself better. And our team is getting better. And I think it was proven again tonight. The job Christian Watford did defensively is where I would start. We're talking about him. Obviously had a double-double, but the 8 deflections, the job he did on Keith Appling, then the job of going into Draymond Green, I thought that was big. Plus 18 and the plus-minus. Cody was tremendous. To have 5 guys in double figures, but more importantly, to rebound the way that we did, to defend the way that we did, says a lot. And we knew Draymond Green would be a handful. He was that and more. But I think with the exception of a couple buckets, we made him earn them. And we did a really good job on other guys. So our guys continue to battle. They're doing a very good job for the most part right now of executing by recognition, of recognizing what's there in the break and when it's not, making sure that they bring it out and that they play. And very proud of the way that they play. And again, I feel good about where they're at, but I feel even better about how much better they can get. And because our work ethic is high, and really proud of the way they're playing.
What does it say about the growth of this program that after the lull you guys had earlier this month, they've come back and got on another roll?
Well, I think it's like anything else. When you go, and every team is different, okay, and every season is a new season. But they've never been in these situations. You know, when we first got here, we started talking about uncharted water. It was for everybody. It was for all of you covering it. It was for all of them playing in it. It was for us coaching it. You know, the fans being involved in it. Well, it's the same thing now. I mean, it's uncharted when you're climbing and you're getting better. And Jay Billis made a point in the interview after he called it an innocent climb. You know, and I guess it is. You know, it's very Pat Riley-esque, but I mean, I guess it is. And what we've got to continue to do is not get caught up in anything but that climb. And that climb is all about practicing hard, getting better. Not making wholesale changes, making competition the forefront of practice, and making improvement what you're measured by, and making sure that everybody understands. And I think that's what happened. I mean, Christian Watford, he has spent enormous time in the gym, you know, since last spring, but as much as any time in the last week and a half, you know, to build himself, and in the film room, and that helps bring confidence. And so I think that's key, and that's why how you want your program to continue to grow. And now as we move down the road and new guys come in, they'll have people that have been through it, seeing what happens when you do it right. They see what happens with success, and they can help teach them. And these older guys never had that.
Tom, do you feel like Victor kind of set the tone early with the way he was attacking the basket, got to the line early?
Yeah, and we made a decision late this morning to put Victor on Draymond Green after practicing. We knew we'd switch a lot. because again, with Christian, Will, and Victor, I think you can see we've got guys that we can do a lot of switching with them. They can guard a lot of different people. But we made a decision to switch Will onto Brandon Dawson and Victor to Draymond Green because we wanted that. When Vic gets his energy going defensively, it helps the team, but it certainly helps him. And I think that was a big part of that. And if you're going to guard Draymond Green, you're going to be locked in right away, and he was.
Why did you decide to start with Christian on Appling, and then why did you switch him on to
Well, we needed to switch on to Green because we needed to change the momentum with him. He was Green probably, there were 5 points off the out of bounds in the first half that were mistakes. And again, maybe it's the short prep. It was the first out of bounds play we went over, and we didn't handle that right. But we did a pretty good job on him. But then there were times when he got momentum and Christian wanted that matchup. So we're very confident with him on Keith Appling. And he guarded Andre Hollins the other day. He's guarded Lewis Jackson. We're very, very comfortable with Christian guarding the point guard because when he's down and when his hands are active, that's a tough guy to get around. And we made some adjustments on how we guarded Keith Appling from the first time. And he hurt us a couple times with it, but for the most part it helped us. And Christian's a big part of that because of his awareness. Very, very smart player. I mean, extremely smart. But again, the story of the game for him, outside of the defense on Keith, was the rebounding.
Sure. Coach, after the game, Coach Izzo said that the two keys to the game for you guys today were Victor and Cody. What do you think has made Victor get into that conversation as being really one of the keys to your team and one of the better players in this league?
I think he just gets better and better. I think he epitomizes the program. I think he keeps improving. I think he came here as a less than heralded guy, fairly highly ranked, I guess, but not really. I mean, undervalued, and he just has a work ethic. Will Shee's the same way. Cody just has. I said this the other day, yesterday. Cody does so many things. He fills the stat sheet, but he fills so much more than that. And that steal coming out of the timeout was huge. I mean, one of the key defensive plays of our year. But because that broke momentum's back right there and put it back with us. And those guys just continue to understand that defense controls so much. But this is not a situation where one or two guys led the way. This was a team effort. I mean, Jordan Hall's played phenomenal. What I was most proud of with Jordan tonight is he controlled the game, and then when Jordan moved right on. If something didn't go right, Jordan moved right on to the next play. That's tremendous growth for him because he beats himself up so bad when he makes a mistake, and that hurts our team. So when he can make that adjustment real quick, it really helps us. Matt did some really good things. Certainly Will and Verdell were really good. I mean, so it was a team win. I wouldn't single out one or two guys as being just the guys that changed the game. I thought our team changed the game from the way they started.
Did you feel that in prep that these guys got a sense that they maybe let one get away when they were in East Lansing and were really itching to get to them?
Yeah, we knew we didn't play well. The last thing we showed them today, that's 2 months ago today, but the last thing we showed them today before we came out to the court was our first 7 minutes in the game at Michigan State. And we saw ourselves standing around. We saw ourselves settling for jumpers. We saw Cody not demanding the ball and playing more upper body rather than getting low. And Cody learned a tremendous amount. I mean, again, our team's been quick learners all year. We come back from that game and beat Ohio State. So we showed bits and pieces of that game. We never spent enough time with watching the whole game. We did as coaches, certainly, but we wanted to show them the message we wanted them to take. And did they learn lessons? Yeah, they learned them right away, and they probably had a good memory.
Dave, Tom, to get a win over is it, I don't know if special is the right word, but I mean, does it mean anything to you?
It means something that when you go against great coaches, and I've had a chance, as a head coach going into the first year when you're in a league with Denny Crum and Bob Huggins, and the next year it's John Calipari, and right after that it's Rick Pitino. When you're going against great coaches, you certainly, there's a little more to it because you're spending so much time looking at how they do things inside the game and inside, okay, when you're getting ready for another game. Michigan State is always going to be one of the first games if they played a common opponent that we're going to start with. So, it's not a personal thing. I mean, he's one of the best friends I'll ever have. And I've learned so much from him. But it's a lot more about playing well against a great coaching staff, and great program.
Michigan State really started the second half strong, forced you guys to do a couple mistakes, and then after the timeout, you guys came back, got right back at it. It was cut to 6. They didn't get it that close the rest of the way. What did you guys do to kind of pick up your level of play?
Well, we took a couple deep breaths, honestly. I mean, we took a couple of deep breaths because that's basically what we needed to do. We just needed to settle in. I'm not joking. I mean, we needed to settle in. It's part of what we do at the timeout. I mean, we just needed to settle in, get our execution back. We were trying hard. It wasn't like we were coming out feeling like the game was over or anything like that. And they got out a little bit, and we just needed to settle in and play and keep doing the things that we had been doing.
You mentioned just deciding to put Vic on Draymond. This is the second time where you kind of put him on more of a post guy with Rodney, and then kind of flipped it in the second half.
Well, we started Will on Rodney Williams the other day, and then we took him off. We could get the fouls. You know, and a little bit of that was more with the blockouts, I think. But Vic went to him pretty quick inside of the game. Like as soon as we took Will out, got 2 quick ones. If I'm not mistaken, I think then Victor went to him. But go ahead.
What do you like just about that idea of having Christian out kind of on the perimeter early and then kind of bringing him back, I guess?
Well, first off, they can guard. They can really guard. And I think it's a matter of getting into bodies. I think it's a matter of using your advantages, you know, length. Victor will, our team is learning that, and again, tonight was a great example. I mean, you've just got to have great contact. You've got to fight in the sense you've got to fight them for position. You can't let them get comfortable. Michigan State has made great strides offensively since we played them, where Draymond is such a great passer. He's always been a very good passer, but he's such a great passer out of the post at finding cutters, whether it be the 5-man, Nix or Payne, or whether it be Dawson coming off the weak side. That was a big part of our game tonight, not allowing that to happen. So you're going to give up a little bit on Crean in the sense of your double team, because he just picks those apart. I mean, I think he looks at a double team and invites it, because that means he's going to find a cutter. And I think the kid is so good, young man is so good, that I think it's the scoring, it's the rebounding, but it's also the passing that separates him as a player. So we knew there was some risk with that, but we didn't want to let his passing pick us apart either. I don't know what he had assist-wise, but it wasn't. He didn't find the cutters that he usually gets. But with that being said, then if you're going to be in single coverage more, then you've got to have guys that will really get into his body and get low and fighting for position. And for the most part, we did it. He earned his baskets. Well, I'll be shocked if we don't see it on the film outside of one transition shot and a couple baseline out of bounds. I think he earned his baskets.
Coach, you talk about edge a lot. Is this the best game?
I don't make proclamations like this is the best we have. We got to keep getting better. It was real good. It was really good, but we got to keep getting better. So there's no way I would come out with a definitive. And we won a lot of games. This was a big win. But this team can get better, and their edge can get better, and their tenacity can get better, and their execution, all those things can get better.
What did you say to Christian when he came off the court after you banked in the 3? Looked like you guys had a little moment.
Oh, that was all about defense. No, that was all about closing out with the rebounding. I didn't have a problem with that. I mean, he followed through. I'll be shocked if we don't see that when we watch the film. I mean, no, I'm not. I get concerned about bad shots, but it's all about the next play. I mean, especially in that situation, we needed to continue to control the game. I had no idea they didn't have any points off offensive rebounds, but we just needed to control the game. He was a tenacious rebounder tonight, and we could not have that let up.
Tom, you've had a Final Four team. You've had a lot of good teams at Marquette. Is this the most satisfying season you've ever had personally?
I'd have to think about that. That'd probably be more for the end. I mean, it's. I wear this watch back when they gave watches to go into the tournament from 2006, because we had a team that made the tournament, was picked 12th in the league. We had 3 freshman guards and Steve Novak. And Steve Novak went from being a guy that didn't get many rebounds to a guy that ended up being 5th in the league in defensive rebounds. So, I don't know if I would be able to do that. I love the way this team has continued to grow. That would be much more of something to think about at the end of the season. I think this team's got a lot of basketball left in it. I really do. And so my biggest thing is making sure that we just continue to put them in an environment where they know they have to get better. Not where we want them to get better, not where your hope is that they get better, but where they know they have to get better. And if we can continue to do that, we'll improve. Then we'll look at it at the end of the year.
One more question.
you kind of started on this, but to beat this team on the rebounding battle, I mean, the third best team in the country, I think, by margin, and again, to not allow them a single second chance point. How huge was that, and just how, again, satisfying?
Well, believe it or not, even in the losses that we've had with them, we've rebounded pretty good some of the times, and that we've never put it all together. And it all begins with the running and the rebounding with them. I mean, it's they are the epitome of that war rebounding drill. And I know some of you haven't seen that drill, but you see it every time you see them play. I mean, that is what they are. And if you're not in that, they're going to dominate you. So, to me, the biggest crux of the game comes down to the fact is that possession by possession, we battled them. And that's what you have to do to beat them. Because I think he thrives on it, meaning Tom, when the other team doesn't. They thrive on it. And they're not used to 40 minutes of people being willing to battle them. And because it's hard to do. It's easy to talk about. It's easy to think about. It's fun to talk about with your family and friends. It's a lot harder to do. And tonight was a night that we did that. All right, thank you.